I mean, right out the gate for the production, sounds very, very Playboi Carti-esque.
Playboi Carti just unleashed a monster 30-track album that might secretly be calling out Drake, and the internet is going nuts. But guess what's even crazier? Kendrick Lamar reportedly had a hand in shaping the chaos, and some folks say it's only the beginning of a brand new war in hip-hop. Sit tight, because this is about to change the game. Let's not waste a second, because this bombshell is shaking up literally every corner of the rap world. We're talking high voltage features, rumored sneak disses, and an insane wave of speculation linking Kendrick Lamar to some behind the scenes creative direction. Carti basically pulled off a hat trick of confusion, hype, and shock value.
Number 15, featuring Kendrick Lamar. I'm really surprised that Kendrick Lamar is on here.
All at the same time. First off, the album is 30 songs deep. Yes, you heard that right. 3, then 0. That's more than some people drop in an entire year, and it's got fans spinning in circles. Why go so big? Did Carti want to break streaming records? Or is he genuinely feeling so inspired that he couldn't resist throwing a kitchen sink's worth of tracks at us? But let's get back to the real zinger, a possible shot at Drake. A handful of bars have the internet in detective mode, especially references to the Six, Carti's ambiguous lines about putting the world on sixes and calling out someone for jacking his style. Fans are screaming, he's calling out Drake!
New Playboi Carti album, Music. Because Playboi Carti is in fact music, says it right there on the cover. Anyway, if you're at all familiar with the lead up to this album's release, you guys are already familiar with the fact that it has been pushed back.
The OVO camp hasn't officially responded yet, but with how big this conversation is getting, a reply might be imminent. And that's just the opening act. Wait till you hear how Kendrick Lamar enters this swirling madness, fueling the biggest rumor storm of 2025. If there's any name that can spark instant chatter, it's Kendrick Lamar, especially when you toss him into an unexpected collaboration with a figure as polarizing as Playboi Carti. According to various insiders, take it with a grain of salt, some might just be chasing clout. Kendrick didn't just lay down a guest verse. He allegedly guided the album's structure and even curated certain features. DJ academics fanned the flames on social media, claiming he heard from the horse's mouth that Kendrick was creative directing the whole project.
Ye just called out Kendrick Lamar for being on Playboi Carti's album. Last night, Carti released his highly anticipated album, Music.
Fans were losing their minds, wondering, did K-Dot actually shape the entire sound? Then a Carti producer clapped back, denying the rumor. So, who's telling the truth? Here's what we do know for sure, fact-checked and verified. Kendrick appears on 3 distinct tracks. They range from raw, chaotic trap vibes to surprisingly melodic moments, each unveiling a different vibe than we've ever seen from him. But does that really confirm he was calling the shots? Not necessarily. Still, people can't get enough of this rumor. It's like catnip for conspiracy theorists.
Yo, Playboi Carti's long-awaited album, Music, is finally here, and let me tell you, it was well worth the wait. It's his most accessible album yet.
Reportedly, the real kicker is the way Kendrick's bars might weave in slick references to that never fully resolved tension with Drake. It's subtle, but lines about bundled merch and numbers not meaning a thing when you've always been that guy have fans pointing right at Drizzy. Coincidence? Possibly. But come on, subtle jabs are basically the rap community's favorite sport. But hold on, because if you think Drake might have been the only target, wait till you see how Kanye West slid into the conversation, because apparently he's not staying quiet. Just when you thought Kanye West might be taking a breather from controversies, he pops up like clockwork.
We just let that pass, and it was interesting because just as men, just as kings, how would we let that idea pass? You know, I'm the greatest that ever existed.
On social media and in some reported private chats leaked by trusted insiders, Kanye allegedly made it clear he didn't want Kendrick on Carti's album. The reason? Rumor has it, Ye was fuming over losing the spotlight or feeling overshadowed. Remember, Ye used to be tight with Carti. He even made appearances on Carti's older works. However, Kanye's relationship with basically everyone has seesawed. One minute, he's praising your genius. The next, he's on a rant about how you're stealing his wave. Also factor in Kanye's well-known frustration regarding Drake, Travis Scott, and now apparently Kendrick. Ye famously said in interviews that Travis took the hits, Drake took the crowd, and Kendrick took the bars, leaving him feeling undervalued.
Recently, Kanye West been going on rants after rant after rant after rant.
This night felt like they lost. You know why? Because y'all been lied to.
To be fair, none of this is 100% confirmed. It's all labeled insider talk at best. But come on, it's Kanye we're discussing. Chaotic revelations are par for the course. And if there's a bigger reason for Ye's absence on I Am Music, it might be simpler than we think. Maybe Carti just didn't want to risk overshadowing the star-studded lineup with more Ye drama. Kanye's alleged rant about not needing Kendrick rapping all over the Vamps territory feels petty, but it also sets up a potential new wave of tension. Some fans think Kanye's just jealous that Carti pulled in K-Dot for multiple tracks, or that Kanye's creative era might be in a slump.
All right, man, enough is enough, man. You done had your whole jealousy of Drake. Y'all want the beef. Okay, whatever. Cool. That went on for like 5 years. Whatever.
Still with me? Because we haven't even scratched the surface of this album's insane track list. From The Weeknd's silky vocals to Future's wild lines about, farm animals. Now let's talk about the massive scope of this album. 30 songs, folks. That's basically a triple album, stuffed with features from all corners of the rap and R&B spectrum. We've got Travis Scott, The Weeknd, Future, Lil Uzi Vert, Young Thug, SZA, and more. The chemistry between Travis and Carti gets weird, raw, and downright adrenaline pumping on certain tracks. The Weeknd's haunting, silky voice drapes over a surprisingly melodic beat, giving us a moment of calm amidst the chaos. People are calling it Carti's attempt to go pop, but it still has that signature vamp edge.
Kendrick Lamar's features on Playboi Carti's new album are weird, right? Besides seeming sort of shoehorned in, specifically his ad-libs on Mojo Jojo, what are we doing here?
Future's present on a few songs, though one particular verse has the internet in stitches. Something about thumbing through cow. Well, let's just say it's a bizarre metaphor. Future might have dialed the weirdness up to 11. Lil Uzi Vert's cameo is short, but stands out as a nostalgic throwback to their SoundCloud prime. Young Thug's appearance is being celebrated as a big highlight, especially given the behind-the-scenes struggles he's faced. Everyone loves hearing Thugger's unpredictable melodies and intangible coolness. SZA adds background harmonies that soften Carti's usual electric rage, creating a refreshing balance. Those are the heavy hitters, but the rumors are swirling about who got cut.
And really shows how many pockets Carti has. Where A Whole Lotta Red was abrasive and really catered more to Carti's core rage rap base.
Some folks claim Drake originally had a cameo but got axed the moment Carti decided to keep the project more Kendrick-focused. Others say Drake's part never existed and it's all just internet gossip. As with everything in the Cartiverse, official answers are scarce, and conspiracy thrives in that vacuum. Still, with so many big-name guests, one question remains. Who's really steering the ship here? Carti, or the folks who might be secretly orchestrating all this chaos? This album didn't just pop up overnight, it was teased and teased again for what felt like ages. If you've been following Carti's socials, you've seen cryptic photos, random deletions, and posts about 2024 music that never arrived in 2024. Instead, we blinked and it was suddenly 2025, with Carti proclaiming his album title was I Am Music. Die-hard fans felt like they were chasing a mirage. Every few months, a new rumor would say, it's dropping next week, and then nothing. Snippets would leak, fueling hype that never got satisfied. Some fans even joked Carti was adopting the mystique marketing approach, turning absence into hype. Others were convinced he had no plan at all and was merely stalling for the perfect moment. When he finally slapped us with a release date and then delivered, it was like the entire community let out a collective roar. The result? A 30-track avalanche that's as divisive as it is ambitious. Some call it genius, others call it a jumbled mess, but everyone has an opinion. And that's the real power of Carti's brand. He knows how to keep people talking, whether they love him or hate him. But don't go anywhere, because just when you think you've got this project figured out, Carti flips the script and goes from demonic rage anthems to tender R&B duets. Talk about whiplash. If one word describes I Am Music, it's diverse, or maybe manic. Tracks fluctuate wildly between hard-hitting, skull-rattling 800 and 8 blowouts and surprising pockets of melody. On one track, you'll feel like you're trapped in a haunted arcade with Carti shrieking over a distorted Lex Luger meets acid synth beat. Then the next track might greet you with The Weeknd's velvety vocals, shifting to a subdued, introspective Carti actually singing about heartbreak or personal demons.
Greatest that ever existed, and other people, they shouldn't feel that way because I'm here. Yeah. But every man, is gonna feel that they're the number one.
This roller coaster is exactly why some fans are hailing the album as brilliantly chaotic, while others insist it's a total mess. Carti's approach to vocals doesn't help unify things. He's using 1,000 different voices. There's the baby voice that put him on the map, the deep gremlin tone he introduced in Whole Lotta Red, and a few bizarre new variations that nobody quite knows how to describe yet. Want variety? You've got it in spades, but the transitions can feel like jumping off a cliff without a parachute. 1 minute, you're headbanging, the next, you're swaying in a dreamlike haze. That said, the tracks featuring big-name guests often hold a more cohesive vibe, hinting that maybe Carti got more structured when heavy hitters stepped into the booth. Here's where it gets really interesting. Some of these songs might be burying hidden messages aimed squarely at the top dogs in the rap scene. Buckle up, because it only gets spicier from here. Now, let's circle back to the biggest swirl of drama. Did Carti really take aim at Drake, or is the internet running wild with overanalysis? Carti drops a line about having the whole world on sixes. Drake's known for calling Toronto the Six, but so is Atlanta Zone 6. Coincidence? Maybe. Still, fans are quick to point out that part of the lyric includes something about "you're too late," which suspiciously echoes Drake's famed project title, "If you're reading this, it's too late." People say Drake's been messing around with Carti-like cadences on certain Lucy's and snippet leaks, so if Carti's calling out a swagger thief, well, fans are connecting the dots to Drizzy. Another potential clue is Carti joking about the real plot twist, which sparks speculation about Drake's private Instagram handle @PlotTwist. Are we reading too deep into it? Possibly. But hey, rap thrives on this kind of detective work. As of now, Drake hasn't responded publicly. Reportedly, he's busy cooking up his own next release. Some stans are dying for that potential back and forth, hoping it ignites the next big rap battle. Others think the lines are too vague to be considered a legitimate diss. Either way, the Carti v. Drake question has the entire community in a frenzy, and the next rumor on deck might be even wilder, because it's time we talk about the aftershocks of that rumored Kendrick v. Drake tension. Tension between Kendrick and Drake is nothing new. They've had an undercurrent of rivalry for years, some say since that infamous Control verse. But 2024 ended with an explosion when Kendrick put out an album that overshadowed one of Drake's releases on the charts.
Ties a person of my complexion and upbringing should not be commenting on. Musically, they're linked by a specific producer, Cardo. Cardo's been working with a lot of artists from both the West Coast and Atlanta.
Then came more speculation about them subtly trading shots. Fast forward to this Carti album, where a few of Kendrick's bars sound eerily pointed. He references lists, bundled merch, and the idea that money can't buy the kind of respect he's earned. Drake's widely known for using merch bundles to rack up insane sales. So when Kendrick calls out the wrong one bundling or hints that the numbers never mattered, fans instantly link it to Drake's chart dominance. These bars could just be generic statements about rap's fixation on streaming stats. But given the history, everyone's reading it as a fresh jab. If there's a line in the sand, Carti's album might be another step in dividing the rap game's biggest power players. But maybe they're all laughing about it behind the scenes. Who knows? And speaking of behind the scenes, Carti's next moves might blow the door wide open on more star-studded collabs. Because rumor says he's trying to turn this momentum into the wildest tour of 2025. Album drop, check. Controversies stirred, double check. But Carti's not one to sit still. Insiders claim he's scheming a monstrous world tour with some of these feature artists in tow. Imagine a live set featuring Travis Scott, Lil Uzi Vert, maybe even a cameo from The Weeknd. Mosh pits and pyrotechnics galore. If that becomes reality, it could be the biggest spectacle hip-hop seen in years. On top of that, rumor has it he's already in talks for more collaborative projects. Could we see a full Carti-Kendrick tape? That's a stretch, but folks online are salivating at the mere idea. Carti might also use this moment to push into different media forms, clothing lines, maybe a short film. He's hinted at it in cryptic tweets, but we'll see if any of that materializes. Regardless of whether you're Team Carti or can't stand him, you can't deny that he's orchestrating a next-level hype campaign. Every rumor, every cameo, every snippet is engineered to keep us glued to the story. Love it or hate it, this dude has the rap world under a spell. But speaking of spells, how are fans reacting? Trust me, it's not all applause and confetti. Some folks are straight up calling this the biggest letdown of the year. Social media erupted the minute Carti's album dropped. You've got supporters who are hailing this as the best Carti era ever, praising the experimental production, the high-profile features, and the insane volume of music. Some are calling it a bold statement.
Fans noticed Drake unfollowed several celebs on his Instagram. So who did he put on the chopping block? Kendrick Lamar?
that Carti isn't just a niche artist, he's aiming for the throne. But then there's the inevitable backlash. Critics say 30 songs is way too much, like throwing spaghetti at the wall to see what sticks. Others complain about filler tracks that sound half-finished or too many repetitive ad-libs. There's also annoyance over the rumored Drake shade. If you're gonna diss him, at least make it direct, they argue. Meanwhile, the biggest discussion swirling around social media is whether or not Kendrick's presence elevated the project or overshadowed Carti altogether. Some fans claim the album's best moments come when Kendrick steps in. Others argue Carti's raw energy is the star, with or without K-Dot. Overall, it's a fiery debate that shows no sign of dying down soon. Ready for the grand finale? Because we're about to wrap up with a question that might break the internet. Here's the final word on why I Am Music could rewrite the rap rulebook or fade into chaos. So is I Am Music the dawn of a radical new era or just the loudest marketing ploy of 2025? Right now, the answer depends on who you ask. The fans who live for rage beats and post-apocalyptic aesthetics see Carti's artistry hitting a new peak. He's bridging mainstream influences with the chaotic spirit of SoundCloud rap. Others hear a disjointed, overlong project, proof that hype can overshadow consistency. But there's no denying the magnitude of this rollout. From alleged Drake disses to Kanye's baffling outbursts and Kendrick's triple feature cameo, Carti has effectively commanded the conversation. Album success in 2025 isn't just about good music. It's about drama, mystique, and conversation. And Carti's definitely got that covered. What's next? Maybe Carti cements his place as the vampiric king of a new wave? Or maybe fans get whiplash from the revolving door of rumors and move on. One thing's certain, the seeds for more showdowns have been planted. If Drake decides to clap back, or if Kanye continues ranting, or if Kendrick keeps weaving cryptic bars into random collabs, we're in for a year of unstoppable gossip. In the end, it might be exactly what Carti wants. A total frenzy that ensures everyone's still talking about him a month from now, a year from now, even a decade from now. Love him or hate him, Carti's name is on everybody's lips, and that's how game changers and sometimes troublemakers are made. So here's the million-dollar question. Is Carti rewriting the rules, or is this hype train about to derail? Let me know what you think in the comments, because if one thing's certain in this wild rap landscape, it's that no rumor ever really dies, especially when Carti's at the center. Strap in, folks, because 2025 is just getting started, and we haven't seen the last of these twisted alliances and dangerous disses.